I'm Thomas Sternglass from Brooklyn, New York. We're here at Allouche Gallery, Los Angeles, and this is Ashes to Access.
How did you come up with it?
Just from the classic Catholicism of ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The last 1,000 years being, like a religious order type structure of things, and now we're moving into the information age in the next millennium. Ashes to Access is moving past that age into the new one and trying to recontextualize the older paintings and older iconography of religion into this kind of tech world and what it means to have a relationship between being human and this kind of spiritualism back and forth.
Tell us about the big pieces behind us.
This diptych is based on Alexander Cabanel's Fallen Angel, a painting of Lucifer descending from heaven, being cast out. I just always found that to be a really fascinating character. He rejected a certain structure of things, and he's cast away. And he's kind of like the personification of evil, like the greatest evil character. We have all these characters throughout movies and TV. They're this collection of what it is to be evil, tweaking the colors of the original, changing the context by extending it into this other piece. It's inverting the composition, where right here he's posed this way, and then it's just flipped to more of like a female figure.
I really love the style. It kind of achieves this high level of detail, but almost like a cloudy effect. How do you work that in? Blurring
and reshaping at the same time. The way I mix the oil paint is I add certain solvents and techniques that I learned from people who I work for, and it just keeps the painting wet for sometimes maybe 4 or 5 days.
Oh, wow.
So in between each layer, I can walk away, have a nice 10-hour kind of session.
Okay.
And then have something more like the hand being more sharp, the face being more definite, but fading into this kind of mist to create more ambiguity, more mystery. Because when you're working with something representational, it's nice to say, oh yeah, I can paint this very real, but I want to push it to another zone of you can, project what you see onto it also, to have it be in kind of an abstract space also, which is just more fun for me too. More, mix things up a bit.
That's so cool. How did you get into art?
Growing up in Brooklyn, that's where I'm from originally. It's a very big art city. You access all these museums, people are making art in the train, all over the place. My initial thing was just sketchbooks, notebooks. I used to just draw people on the train and, go up to people, oh, hey, can I draw you? You know what I mean? Some people would be, no, that's kind of, you get that sometimes. And then I started to realize, oh, this could be a cool thing to do for a living, I really reached out to people in the New York art scene, going to openings which were really available, talking to people saying, hey, I like what you do, can I work for you? Oh, can I check this studio out? And that's really how I found myself here. Sort of a direct path in a way. I did art school, I went to Pratt, I did that kind of stuff.
Tell me more about the art scene in New York. Is that where you're still based?
Yeah, so I have my studio's in Tribeca right now. Okay. So I'm between Little Italy, Chinatown. And that's great because all the galleries are right by where I am. So Thursday, Friday nights are like a big opening night in New York. Yeah. And out here in LA, I took maybe 2 hours to get here from where I was staying in Santa Monica. In New York, you can walk 2 minutes. Okay, let's go here. Then there's a list of 10 other places, bop, bop, bop. And it's also a great way if you want free drinks, you're really cheap, you don't want to pay for anything. Why go to a bar, you know what I mean? So some people are there for that, but it's good. It's just very like a walking city, and that changes the nature of getting around to the art shows. It's very accessible, very easy. So this is, as the title of the show, Ashes to Access, the piece. I have a multi-religious background in my family. My dad's Jewish, and they came from Berlin in the 30s, So they came to New York as immigrants. On my mom's side, they're Catholic, so we did some Catholic things too here and there. And that's just the classic Ash Wednesday of, they take the ash and they put it on your forehead, and this is, like a reminder of ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It's a kind of, you're born into the world, you return to it. Similar with recontextualizing the iconography, I thought, okay, well, what's the #1 symbol we see now as a barcode? So I just felt like that would be a good way to put maybe a modern kind of religion that's coming about now through as technology increases.
So what does art mean to you? How's it changed your life?
I think it just gives me the ability to live a more open life. I've had to work when I had to and do different jobs, but for me, just being able to have my own schedule and dictate that and say, if I don't want to work today, I don't have to, but if I want to work for 10 days straight all day, that's cool too. Even just being able to come out here for this trip, all I had to do in the last couple months was do this show. And, you know, just, hey, make sure the paintings are done, you know? And if they are, cool, do whatever you want. I like that.
When you're developing a show, do you come up with a concept and then sort of paint within it? Or did you just start painting and then figure it out as you went?
Bits and pieces. I have my own influences and images that I like to work from, concepts I like to throw in. But it is truly like, maybe like how someone makes an album. It's like, you don't really know what you're going in. You know, it's gonna come about as it does. And like some of these over here, I'll show you, were the initial ones. Like this one over here, I made at Ross Bleckner's residency in East Hampton this summer. And the concept of the show started there maybe in May or June. So I did this residency for 2 or 3 months in East Hampton. This is a reference from a Caravaggio of Narcissus. And he's gazing into the water to see his reflection. But then I wanted to extend the plane outward to see another self, like a digital self. The original myth is, of course, you gaze into the water, you're self-absorbed and the self-love and, oh, I love myself, you know. And so I thought our digital image is generated, projected back at us and to other people so many times that just this new Narcissus myth going on between everyone, I feel. So I wanted to have this left side where it's more loose, similar to the blurriness from before of like a half self projected image that's almost watching the Narcissus here, you know, so kind of almost like a 4D version in a way. I have an aspiration to do animation beyond just this. Like I really love oil painting, but I feel like there's narratives in these and I'd like to find a way to tell a story, and that might be the way.